adjusting for bonuses, the stock has moved from sub 20 to almost 115. So it's overbought. We've had a 2-year up move. It's tired. But yeah, the bigger picture still remains a positive sheen. So it remains bullish on the long term. So I believe there's no problem once again from a longer term point of view. Shorter term, it's stagnated. Medium term, maybe if it closes below 104, we could see some pressure coming in.
Okay. Siddharth, this next query we have is coming in from Rajagopalan, and this one is on Supreme Petrochem. Wants to know a good level to buy this stock at for a long-term period. Time holding period is around 2 to 3 years. They are okay to hold with it.
Well, I would advise that one can stay away from this stock at least for a quarter or two. Look out for some other PSUs like BPCL for a positional or a long-term perspective. I think there can be a good momentum there. So instead of Supreme, I would advise to get into BPCL.
Okay, moving on, the next query coming in from Anand from Gurgaon, and Hemant, he bought Lemon Tree, but he sold it at a price of 98, booked profits out there, but now if the stock is that below 90 mark, can he again buy for the next 3 to 6 months? What's the technical view and what are the charts indicating?
Okay, short-term uptrend is very clear, Shishri. From a medium-term point of view, yes, we walked into a correction after almost 5-6 months of an up move. So firstly, I think he can wait a bit to buy it back again. We are at 87. Support levels come in at 80, 71 and 58.60. 58.60 seems a bit far off, but I think he can keep an eye on 80 and 71 to buy. So no need to rush. I believe there is weakness which has just started creeping in, and it might not go in a hurry.
Okay, so the next query we have is coming in on EIH, and Satya CK wants to know how is it looking to actually buy EIH on the long term?
Well, the entire hotel space this hospitality space has been doing good. But instead of EIH, I would be more comfortable with Indian hotels because, the chain of hotels, luxury hotels, which they have capex, they have expansion plans, and the average ARR, average room rates are also improving, occupancy improving. So I would subscribe to Indian hotels instead of EIH.
Okay, moving on to the next query that's coming in from Chitra, and Siddharth, Chitra has a basket of stocks where she wants to pick a couple of them. She has got KPIT, GNFC, Imami, Yes Bank and Cyient as the options. Which one would you recommend for a buy?
Well, KPIT is one stock which I would like to buy at this situation. Along with Cyient is also a good option to look at. GNFC is one option which I would look to buy after looking at the results of December quarter. As we know, the previous quarter Q2 was a little tepid and weak quarter for GNFC, but it's a very good company. So 3 companies I would like to pick out here is GNFC, Cyient and KPIT Tech.
Okay, let's move on to the next query, and Heyman, this query is for you, and this one is actually on Steelcast. This query is coming in from Sagar, and he wants a technical view on, he's holding a big chunk of Steelcast at a lower level. Do you see bigger targets actually coming up for this one? How are the charts looking like in the short term for Steelcast?
Okay, really any time frame that you look at, we remain safely ensconced in an uptrend, short term, medium term, long term. So looks positive. In fact, it's broken out of a 4.5 month consolidation phase. So it's firing on all cylinders, nothing to worry. All-time highs. Okay, we don't have any known resistance levels, but looks good. No reversal levels. Looks fine.
Okay, moving on, the next query coming in from Manoj, and he's from Doha, Qatar, and we hope that you're enjoying the FIFA World Cup. But coming to the stock queries, Siddharth wants to know whether it's a good time to buy and enter into Vedanta for the next 2 years. He's looking to invest in 3,000 shares. What will be your advice?
Yes, it's a quality play. One can look out for this company for next 2 years. Overall perspective is improving. The businesses are improving. Dynamisms are improving in terms of scalability of the business. So definitely one can look at Vedanta with a 2-year perspective.
Okay. Hemant, the next query we have is coming in from Jeevan, and this one is on Tata Power. They want to know whether it's the right time to enter Tata Power at current levels for a swing trade for a 5 to 10% gain is what they're looking at.
Frankly speaking, Vinny, after Tata Power moved from 27 to 297, we've gone into hibernation mode, so to speak. So 5% would mean 12 bucks. We've already moved 8 rupees. So, and it's not showing any spectacular price movement on the short or medium term. So I would suggest he do a contra trade, in the sense buy it near supports, because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It's not bearish long term, remains clearly bullish, but it's 5 to 10% move. Here at 224, ideally he would need to buy it at 218 for a target of 232. Currently, the risk reward ratio of his 5-10% might not sit in the calculation.
Okay, moving on, the next query coming in from Subrata Mukherjee, and Hemant, he's looking to invest into Divi's lab. This is one of those beaten down counters, down around 27% on a YTD basis. Will that be a good bet to enter into Divi's lab at these levels? Any signs of reversal you're looking at?
Well, it's fallen off a cliff, and if you longer term chance to stay, no, it still doesn't look good. But if you are planning a positional trade from a medium term point of view, we are seeing some sort of a base formation between 3200 and 3400, and we are on the verge of staging a recovery of sorts. A weekly close above 3600 would mean technical green shoot. So, succinctly put, long term still no signs of any technical positive. Medium term base formation. So, if you're going to buy it and if he likes the stock, I think he should do it in bits and pieces, not at one go. And currently, even can try for a recovery, but a reversal is not yet apparent on the charts.
Siddharth, this next query is coming in for you, and this one is on Reliance Industries. Ashray has 756 Reliance shares at 1,371 rupees. They're holding it for 2.5 years. Should they continue to hold this now, or should they look at booking some profit or all of the profits?
Well, first of all, congratulations for picking up the stock at the lower levels. And since you've been putting in so much of a time to this stock, and it's the best of the conglomerate in the industry, biggest of telecom, so hold with the stock with another 2-3 year perspective. I think one can get fabulous returns from here on Reliance Industries. Value unlocking is also one thing which one should contemplate. Likes of Reliance Retail coming out, Jio coming out. So value unlocking is one thing one should look at. So hold on with this stock with the next 2 year perspective.
That's a hold for the next 2 to 3 years on Reliance Industries. But with this, it's time to slip into a short break. Viewers, don't go away. And all our guests, please hang on with us. We'll be coming up right back.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets at Noon. Midway through the trading day, we help you catch all the trading action.
And get the bigger picture of the equity markets.
We help you screen through all the clutter and get you research insights.
Master the market sentiment during the most active trading hour of the day.
Get exceptional winning strategies from our technical analysts as well as expert views coming in from the market makers. Catch Markets at Noon every trading day only on ET Now.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Do we have to wait years for a cure?
Hey, Mommy, can we go make some pancakes?
Yeah, let's go. Or are we smarter than that?
Landmark Cars Limited, a leading premium automotive retail business in India with dealerships for Mercedes-Benz, Honda, Jeep, Volkswagen and Renault, and a commercial vehicle dealership for Ashok Leyland, launches an initial public offering of equity shares of face value of ₹5 each in a price band of ₹481 to ₹506 per equity share. Bid offer opens on Tuesday, December 13th, 2022 and closes on Thursday, December 15th, 2022. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP available on the websites of SEBI, the book running lead managers and the stock exchanges.
पुत्रवीर कमाल दिखा अपना, कभी टेबल बन जाता है तो कभी अलमारी। वीर MDF आम प्लाईवुड से ज्यादा मजबूत, ज्यादा किफायती, दिखे चकाचक, दिखे टकाटक।
My name is Kunal Vijayka and this is Club Mahindra presents Magical Trails partnered by the Times Network. And I'm going to take you on a magical trail of culture, heritage and great food. So come along. The tadka is added so much, the crunch of the chana ka dal, superb. So this is a super hit. See, look at that, fantastic.
Watch Club Mahindra presents Magical Trails, partnered by Times Network, this weekend on ET Now.
हेलो दोस्तों, जैसे कि आप देख सकते हैं, my skin is like honey. मैं हूँ genetically धनी. Good skin is like कीमती गहना. How to keep it young? ऐसे ही रहना. बायोटिक का cleansing, toning, moisturizing करती हूँ दिन में 2 बार. 3 days में बनाए स्किन को सुपरस्टार. सबको ढेर सारा सारा का प्यार. जैसी हूँ वैसी ही रहना. बायोटिक एडवांस्ड आयुर्वेदा. Real is really beautiful.
Come what may, with Apollo Tires, have a wonderful day.
एक जिला एक उत्पाद बना ब्रांड, विश्व स्तर पर यूपी की बनी विशिष्ट पहचान। विगत वर्षों में उत्तर प्रदेश का निर्यात 30% बढ़ा है, जिसमें 72% योगदान एक जिला एक उत्पाद का रहा। योजना के पहले 5 साल में ही 25 लाख लोगों को मिला रोजगार।
इस योजना के प्रभावी क्रियान्वयन का ही परिणाम है कि प्रदेश में निर्यात में रिकॉर्ड बढ़ोतरी हुई है।
बढ़ता निवेश, बढ़ता निर्यात, उत्तर प्रदेश में समग्र विकास।
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Welcome back, and you're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now. Let's keep it going with your stock related queries, and if you have already not sent us your queries, you can send us your queries on YouTube or our WhatsApp number or even on our Twitter page as well. And Siddharth, I'm going to come to you with the next query, and this one is coming in that we have is from Purnima, and this one is on Adani Wilmar. 100 shares of Adani Wilmar is what they are holding at 825 rupees per share. Obviously, they're making a loss on it as of now. Siddharth, what should they be doing? Continue to hold this, book a loss, average it out? What's your view on Adani Wilmar?
Well, we don't cover Adani Wilmar, but the overall perspective, since you're making losses, I think you should hold on and look out for a quarter or two. And then once you get an upswing in the stock, you can come out. But as of now, it's a hold.
Coming in from Sri Krishnan, and Siddharth, let me take it up from you. He is holding Sumitomo Chemicals, Borat at a price of 518. The stock has seen a one-way rally on the upside post-listing, but for now, will there be an advice to average out, hold or sell?
Well, it's a very good stock. I think one should hold on in the space. Sumitomo Chemical is a good stock to hold. Added to that, in the chemical arena, there are a lot of companies to add up further, because we believe that next 3 to 5 years, chemical industry can be a very, very big game changer from here on. Although we've seen a good returns in this, still for next 2-3 years, we believe good returns can be expected. Companies like Deepak Nitrite, Navin Fluorine are the top of the list for us in the chemical space, specialty chemical space.
Heyman, this next query is for you, and this one is actually coming in on Granules India. Kostu wants to know, is it the right time to average Granules India if they have a medium to long term view? They've not given their buy price, but I believe we should they be looking at it actually?
Yes, but currently no. I think Granules has commenced a long-term uptrend again. Couple of levels I'd like to point out, Vinny, where our investor can consider averaging. First level is 315 and the second level is 295. I think these are the two levels he can look to average. Long term, the stock should go to 500 in the next 2 years or so. A small caveat: we need a weekly closing below 330 for these levels to be achieved. Buying levels to come. And we are in an intermediate downtrend. So I believe that once we close below 330, we should see some downside.
So those are the levels to watch out for. But the next query coming in from Anoop, and Siddharth, he wants to enter any of the tire stocks, be it Apollo, CEAT or MRF. But the tire stocks have been on the roll since the start of this year. But what's the outlook ahead, and what will be your pick amongst the three?
Well, Apollo, CEAT, both the companies are good. One can pick up any of them from the tire space. Since you are very positive on the tire space that is ancillary to the OEMs, I think look out for battery space also. I think something like Exide also looks good. Results were very strong, and after a very big lull period, the stock has started moving.
Okay, the next query we have is coming in on MTNL. Heyman, S. Roy is holding 3,000 shares of MTNL at 29 rupees. Should they exit this stock? How are the charts looking like for this one? Do you see this going much above the 30 mark as well?
Well, frankly speaking, Vinny, over the last 13 years, we've heard ample rumors, company getting sold out, and every time it's a pump and dump sort of a scenario. If it's crying real wolf, if it's actually saying cry wolf, is it the real, is this finally the level, the point we are waiting for? Technically looks good. It formed a rounding bottom on the weekly chart, looks set for an upside, major resistance at 40. But once again, I think you need to be careful, because after 13 years of multiple attempts, it's gone nowhere. But yes, technically it has improved. So on pure technical parameters hold with a stop loss of 21. Levels are 31 and the major one is 40.
Okay, the next query coming in from Hemant, and the viewer's name is Hemant. And Siddharth, let me take it up from you. He wants to know the fundamental view on HFCL and Sterlite. Which one is good for 5G for the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, frankly, Hemant, I'm not positive on any of them. I believe on the basis of 5G, I think you need to look out something which is a tech company which is more based on IT and software kind of thing. And amongst this, Tech Mahindra looks very interesting if I look out at 5G level. And broadly, if I want to go with a clear-cut telecom provider, then I would like to go with Bharti Airtel.
In this next query we have is coming in on Colgate Palmolive, and Ayananthan Chatterjee wants to know whether we can enter Colgate Palmolive at the current price.
Well, I prefer to wait just a bit. In fact, last weekend it gave an upward breakout, and now it's on the verge of giving a downward breakout. So, frankly speaking, amazing flip-flops doesn't happen very often, and most of the FMCG stocks have done well in the meantime. I prefer to wait a bit. Okay, today is Thursday. If we close at this level on a Friday evening, why I'm saying that is a weekly chart would be formed. It's giving a downward bar reversal. So technically, that's not exactly a very good thing to happen. But if he does like the stock, levels which he can consider, support level which he can use to buy, 1550, 1520, 1470.
Okay, the next query coming in from N. Chandrasekharan, and Hemant, he's been holding UPL at an average price of 810 for the past 6 months, but exactly from that level we are seeing the stock facing a rejection or having a rejection. But moving on in the next 3 months, do you expect the resistance level to be taken out for? What will be your view on this?
We need to, yeah, I think so. We look like going towards taking out 810 in the next 3 months. But once again, a request, if you can hold on, the stock is going to go to 4-figure the next couple of years.
Okay, let's move on to the next query. And this query is on HUL Siddharth. It's coming in from Vishal. He's bought HUL shares at 2,688 rupees. Should they go ahead and buy more, or what should they be doing with HUL as of now, or wait for more correction if they're looking to hold for a longer period of time and buy more?
Well, our targets on HUL is 2951, and I think one should hold on with HUL. We believe the kind of flows are coming in from the rural India, the kind of volumes are coming in. I think HUL has been doing good on the on most of the fronts, like beauty, personal care, home care segment. I think volumes are coming in, rising rural demand. Palm oil prices is also lowered compared to the last quarter, so that's also an input price benefit for the company. So HUL is definitely a hold with a target of 2951.
Okay, moving on, the next query coming in from Madhusudha Rao from Hyderabad. And Siddharth, he was one of the allottees of Power Mech projects when the stock got listed, and has been holding this particular counter since then. But now, after almost four times of return in this stock, should he continue for some more time or shift to any other space, or particularly the cement sector? What will be your advice?
Well, at least some profits has to be booked, at least 50% profits has to be booked. And if you want to get into the cement space, there are a lot of opportunities in the cement space. As we know, Q3 and Q4 is the main quarters for cement to give good performances. So cement is definitely a buy. If you want to switch over your profits to some of the companies, Ultratech is one, Dalmia Bharat is the second one. And if you're looking for a small cap company, Sagar Cement looks very interesting.
Hemant, this next query actually we have is coming in on Reliance Futures. They're holding, Satya is holding Reliance Futures at 2,645. What would you suggest?
Currently, the picture doesn't look very copacetic, frankly speaking, Vinny. I believe that we could go down to 2650 or 60 before it stabilizes. So I think he should keep a cash market stop loss, closing stop loss of 2590. I believe 2550, 60 could come first, and then we see a bounce to 2680.
Okay. On the next query coming in from Anjali and Siddharth. Anjali has been holding PNB Housing share at a price of 394, almost 400 rupees, and sitting at a good gains. What will be your view on that? And other than that, a next query coming in on ICICI Prudential. Will that be a good bet to enter at these levels?
Well, ICICI Prudential is a good bet to get in. Which is the other stock, previous stock you spoke about?
Will that be a buy or hold?
Okay, PNB Housing. Yes, PNB Housing is definitely a hold. Valuations are quite cheap. The business is strong, although there was a lot of slippages which we've seen in last 2 years. Now they have come out of all that. Valuations are cheap compared to the peers, that's Canfin Home or Repco Home, or for that matter HDFC Limited. So the PNB Housing is also a hold.
Okay. Hemant, this next query we have is coming in on Metropolis. Salman has 50 shares of Metropolis at 1,560 rupees per share. Should they look to average it out right now? What is your view on this one?
No, it doesn't look like an average Vinny at this level. Rock solid support at 1318, but if we were to close below 1318 on the weekly, all hell would break loose. Lower tops, lower bottoms on all time frames, except for looking oversold on the daily chart. There isn't any redeeming factor. So I'd say keep an eye on 1318. If that holds for the next couple of weeks, then he can consider this. Otherwise, stay away for the time.
The next query coming in from Eliriza and Siddharth. She entered into Bank of Maharashtra, 1,000 shares at a price of 40 rupees. The stock is now down to 35 rupees. She wants to know, should she hold for previous high levels of 60 rupees plus or exit at cost?
Well, neither of them. I think don't wait for the previous high. It will come to your cost because all the PSU banking space has been moving upward. Wait out for your cost, get some marginal profits and come out, because the company is not that fabulous to get into. Looking at the entire situation of the balance sheet is concerned, although the up move is there in the PSU banking space. But I think once you come out, get into a private banking space, a quality play where you make a good returns. That is ICICI Bank.
Okay, on that note, viewers, we're going to slip into a very short break, but don't go anywhere because we're going to come back with your stock related queries. So our experts, do hold on with us as well.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Will snow days be a thing of the past? Or are we smarter than that?
Landmark Cars Limited, a leading premium automotive retail business in India with dealerships for Mercedes-Benz, Honda, Jeep, Volkswagen and Renault, and a commercial vehicle dealership for Ashok Leyland, launches an initial public offering of equity shares of face value of ₹5 each in a price band of ₹481 to ₹506 per equity share. Bid offer opens on Tuesday, December 13th, 2022 and closes on Thursday, December 15th, 2022. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP available on the websites of SEBI, the book running lead managers and the stock exchanges.
क्या हुआ चैंपियन?
दिन रात प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ती है। यहाँ तो रात को स्टेडियम ही बंद हो जाता है।
एक काम करो ना, चेन छोड़ छोड़ के लगाना।
पापा?
अब करो दिन रात प्रैक्टिस। चैंपियन।
एक्स्ट्रा सेफ पॉलीकैप ग्रीन वायर आपके सपनों को रखे सेफ। अमृत काल में विकसित भारत के विराट संकल्प के साथ तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है भारत। आज विश्व भारत को एक वैश्विक लीडर के रूप में आशा और विश्वास के साथ देख रहा है। फिर वो चाहे पर्यावरण हो या अर्थव्यवस्था का प्रबंधन, घरेलू स्तर पर राष्ट्र सामाजिक और आर्थिक विकास के नए आयामों के साथ लगातार आगे बढ़ रहा है और विकास के इस अभियान को गतिशील बना रहा है। आपके द्वारा दिया हुआ आयकर, समय पर आपके द्वारा दिया हुआ एडवांस टैक्स देश के विकास में एक महत्वपूर्ण योगदान देता है। अपने एडवांस टैक्स की तीसरी किश्त 15 दिसंबर तक जमा करवा के आप भी देश के विकास में अहम योगदान दें। कंपनीज, कॉर्पोरेट्स, सैलरीड एम्प्लॉयज या फिर वो व्यक्ति और संस्थाएं जिनका TDS या TCS कटने के बाद भी कर देता 10,000 रुपए या उससे अधिक है, उनके लिए एडवांस टैक्स देना अनिवार्य है। अधिक जानकारी के लिए www.incometax.gov.in पर लॉग ऑन करें। प्रत्येक आयकर दाता एक राष्ट्र निर्माता।
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
देश का हर अरमान पूरा करे एक नाम, श्री राम, श्री राम। लाना, ले जाना, बेचना, खरीदना, कमाना, बचाना, सलाह पाना। कोटपुर, जोधपुर, तिरुपुर, एग्मूर, गोवा, पटना, दिल्ली, हावड़ा। श्री राम के साथ आगे बढ़ना। श्री राम फाइनेंस लिमिटेड, आपकी प्रगति का साथी।
Welcome back, and you're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Let's keep it going with the stock-related queries then. And Hemant, this query we have is coming in from Hemant, who's holding 48 shares of Relaxo Footwear at 988 rupees per share. Would you suggest them to hold, sell, or maybe look to buy some more right now? What's your view on this?
Vinny, I think he can relax a bit, hold on to Relaxo. Very strong support at 880. I believe there is positive divergence. Medium-term bottom is being made. Hold as of now. A bounce is underway. The bigger picture could still take some time to play out, but a medium-term bottom seems to be in place.
Let me ask the next query on Wipro, Hemant. This query is coming from Rajeshwar, and he's holding Wipro 40 shares at a price of 409. The stock is down 10 rupees per share from his entry level, but is the bottom in place for this particular counter and a bounce expected?
Srishti, yes and no. Bottom in place, yes. Bottom is at around 370. Bounce in place, frankly speaking, it's one of the major laggards in the entire IT pack. It's not moved up or bounced back as much as maybe an Infosys or a TCS or LTTS or LTIS or Mindtree. So underperformance, but yes, bottom in place. A close above 415 on the weeklies should see some more upside coming in.
Let's move on to the next query, and this one we have is coming in on from Vasu, and this one is on Saregama. Hemant wants to know whether they should look at investing in this stock for a short term right now.
Short term, I don't think so, because we are in a short term downtrend below the 55-day moving average and lower tops, lower bottoms, and on the weekly and monthly, frankly speaking, it's been more than a year now. It's done nothing. So no, there's a distinct negative overhang. No, nothing to convince for a short-term buy. No.
Coming in from Mandi Kandan, and Hemant, he entered into NMDC 130 December series call option at a price of 1 rupees 85 paisa. What's the view on this particular counter? Because the stock is at 125, but that's a call option of 130 rupees. Do you expect some profits coming out of here?
Well, yes, but if it's a call option, the time value will erode rapidly, Shishti, and closer to 130 and 134 are major resistance levels. So as of now, it's a hold, absolutely not a problem, but it's not very far away. It's a slow-moving stock. But at 125.60, I would first see that it doesn't close below 122, and closer to 130, he can exit. I'm not sure if he's going to make money depending on what level he bought it, but we are getting close to a congestion area at that level.
Hemant, this next query we have is coming in on Aztac Life Science. This is from Sri Kutan, and they want to know your short-term view on this one. Would you suggest that one could look at buying this one?
Aztac Life Sciences, from a shorter-term point of view, I would be slightly reticent because we are in a medium-term downtrend. Yes, we are at support levels, but this is trying to scalp an impossible trade. So, okay. One, I don't see any technical reasons for a buy, but if he still does want to, stop loss at 740, only a close above 1850 would give a 100-point bounce. But once again, too many questions mark, doesn't look very convincing.
Okay, Hemant, the next query coming in from Salman, and he entered into Metropolis at a price of 1,560 rupees. We are seeing that the stock has been under tremendous pressure, and even recently was facing some selling pressure. Should he wait, average out, or sell? And what will be the view for the next 6 months?
Keep a stop loss of 1310 and hope for the best. Short and medium term downtrend, long term downtrend. Looks woeful on the charts. Abysmal performance, doesn't seem to be any saving grace. So as of now, keep a stop loss and hold. No, it's not a buy at current levels. No average.
The next query, Hemant, this one is coming in on LIC, and the viewer wants to know they're holding LIC shares at 654 rupees per share. So yes, they are making a profit on this right now. So should they actually look at booking those profits, or should they be buying more shares as of now?
first, congrats on a great entry level. I'm not sure if it makes sense to buy more, but a whole yes. 724 is the previous swing high, and we've just about walked into resistance over here. We sustain about 724, we should be going to 760 and 800. So I'm not sure if it quantifies for a further add, but a whole definitely.
Take up the last query, and that's coming in from Hitesh. Heyman, he wants to enter into Lux Industries. The stock was around 4,000 rupees level, touched those levels some time back, but now it's trading in a tight range around 1,700 odd levels. What's your view coming in? Good time to enter?
Yes, very valid observation, Srishti. Trading at a tight range. I believe, if I can anticipate a bit, this is the start of a possible formation of a rounding bottom. So we're at 1709. Firstly, the stop loss needs to be in place at 1640. Yes, you can consider buying the stock. Keep a stop loss at 1640. Only a close above 1760 would trigger off an upside, but frankly speaking, it does look deeply oversold and risk-reward ratio seems to be in favor.
Okay, Heyman, thank you so much for that. That was the last query for today. Heyman, thank you so much for joining with us on Market Fatafat. But with that, we are absolutely out of time on this edition. Buy now, sell now on ET Now. Thank you so much, viewers, for tuning into Buy Now, Sell Now. But don't go anywhere. Markets at noon will take the action forward.
We have met the trailblazers of India Inc., the visionaries whose business insight has altered the industry core and boosted the economy. With in-depth business knowledge of Nikunj Dalmia, ET Now conceptualized these intimate interviews to an outstanding effect. These unique rendezvous took place in the workplaces of these pioneers, driving home the knowledge to run a successful business. Catch them on ET Now, India's #1 business news channel.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Landmark Cars Limited, a leading premium automotive retail business in India with dealerships for Mercedes-Benz, Honda, Jeep, Volkswagen and Renault, and a commercial vehicle dealership for Ashok Leyland, launches an initial public offering of equity shares of face value of ₹5 each in a price band of ₹481 to ₹506 per equity share. Bid offer opens on Tuesday, December 13th, 2022 and closes on Thursday, December 15th, 2022. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP available on the websites of SEBI, the book running lead managers and the stock exchanges.
Indiabulls Housing Finance Limited announces a public issue of secured redeemable NCDs offering coupon rate of up to 9.80% per annum and additional incentive of 0.25% per annum. Tranche 4 issue is open for subscription. To subscribe, log on to indiabullshomeloans.com. For risk factors and more details, refer to the Tranche 4 prospectus available on the websites of SEBI, Stock Exchange, Company and the lead managers.
Hello and welcome to ET Brand Equity presents The Big Leap, powered by CleverTap, an exclusive chat show featuring pioneers from India's 12 largest and fastest growing brands. Log into this wide-ranging conversation to unearth 2 mega growth stories with MobiKwik and MX Player on the 5th episode of The Big Leap.
We literally started MobiKwik from our apartment. Our first employees, our first engineer, everybody worked out of apartment. And for the first 4 years, we were bootstrapped.
So we've now applied the CleverTap solution not just on the app itself, but almost every product offering that we have, so that we're able to migrate customers from one product to the other in order to kind of serve the customer much more better.
Unlike any other video service, we truly believe and we've developed ourselves into becoming an entertainment destination. If you look at all forms of entertainment, we have it all under one roof on MX Player.
So now our focuses have migrated, have moved to actually keeping these users with us, engaging with them, and ensuring that they keep coming back for multiple services that we give.
एक दिन मैं एक ऑटोमेटिक पेंसिल बनाऊंगी जो मेरा सारा होमवर्क करेगी। मैं एक फ्रिज बनाऊंगा जो अनलिमिटेड आइसक्रीम बनाएगी। मैं एक मशीन बनाऊंगी जो मेरे ड्रीम्स रिकॉर्ड करेगा।
When you believe nothing is impossible, you see no limits. Engineering solutions for a limitless world. Kirloskar.
Our focus right now is really on moving our policy stance to one that is restrictive enough to assure a return of inflation to our 2% goal over time. It's not on rate cuts. And we think that we'll have to maintain a restrictive stance of policy for some time. Historical experience cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy.
US markets decline after hawkish commentary as far as Fed chairperson Powell is concerned, says that job is not yet done and they may remain on course to raise rates in fight of inflation. Adds that there may be no rate cut anytime soon.
The Wall Street snaps the three-day run with the Nifty back below the 18,600 mark in line with the global cues. Broader markets see smaller cuts. PSU banks hold on to gains even in a weak market.
CDC not that great in this session. This is after government announces OFS to divest 5% stake. Remember, company holds about 70% stake. Government holds about 70% stake and is in rush to meet the FI current financial year divestment target of about 65,000 crores.
Sapphire Foods in focus as over 68 lakh shares change hands in a block deal. WWD, Ruby, as well as Sapphire Foods Mauritius and Sagista Realty Advisors are the likely sellers.
In a major development in the Indian FMCG space, HUL is in a process of shortlisting candidates to take over from Sanjeev Mehta when he steps down from the current role. This is according to Economic Times report. Rohit Java and Priya Nair are among the front runners.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets at Noon on ET Now. I am Anisha Jain. With me as always is Pankaj Poddar. The market is trading in the red. A bit of a reaction coming into the Fed commentary as well, because remember, interest rates could go beyond the peak rate estimates. That's the word coming in from Fed Chair Jerome Powell, even as the US CPI data came in much below expectations. The policy committee, remember, raised rates by 50 basis points to a range of 4.25 to 4.50%, the highest seen in the last 15 years. This is the 7th Fed rate hike this year itself. Powell added that they need more evidence of inflation cooling off and will stay the course until the job is done. He also asserted that there will be no rate cuts until they are confident that inflation has eased, and that's the reason you saw the reaction in the markets, Pankaj, as well. Overnight, the clear commentary coming in that there might not be a rate cut happening in 2023 is what spooked the markets a tad bit.
Absolutely. Markets was expecting a more dovish sort of statement, but however, there was no major change. It was probably similar than what you have seen earlier, and that's the reason for probably that marginal disappointment that Anisha was just talking about. Let's go across to Ashish Kayal, founder and CEO of Wave Strategy Advisor, with us. Ashish, what's your perspective on the market first, and then we'll go for... First, you could just talk to us about levels on Nifty, Bank Nifty, and then we can take some stock calls as well.
Sure, absolutely. Afternoon to you and all the viewers. See, as far as Nifty is concerned, if you look at the daily chart, we have managed to form some kind of an evening star pattern there and reverse back on the downside. So if we close below the low, which was made yesterday around 8,630, which looks like as of now. So if we close around that area today, then this will be a sign of caution. We might start moving some kind of a we can see some kind of a move towards that 18,420 levels on the downside. That's the support level. And on the upside, I think 18,630, 18,650 is a major hurdle as of now. We can also see a huge open interest build-up happening around 18,600, 18,700 levels. So from the call side, so it looks like it's not easy going to be breaching those levels on the upside. So in a nutshell, sell on rise as of now, 18,420 for the target and 18,650 as the stop loss on Nifty. As far as Bank Nifty is concerned, we can see it's very interesting to see that Nifty was falling even over past few days, did not show much of a rise, but Bank Nifty touched lifetime highs. It's not very often you see such kind of divergence across two major indices. And Bank Nifty is relatively stronger compared to Nifty, but today there is some pressure that is building up here as well. But however, having said that, on Bank Nifty, if as long as the lows around 43,600 is intact, I think dips can be used to buy. Whereas the target on the upside for Bank Nifty can be again towards that 44,100 and 44,100 I think should be reached. But one should be cautious. Only once you see positive price action, go for buy on Bank Nifty and sell on Nifty.
Sure, so that's a take coming in as far as market is concerned. But Ashish, what's your take on Bank Nifty? Because today that one also is coming under a bit of pressure. Of course, after the big run-up that we have seen, a bit is warranted as well. But Nifty Bank as well. And if you can talk to us about the top stock recommendations.
Yeah, sure. So as I said, Bank Nifty, we can see pressure building up, but Bank Nifty is still managing to protect its previous important support levels. So as long as 43,600 remains protected on Bank Nifty, I think this dip can be used to buy for a range for a target of around 44,100 again on the upside. So that's, I think, the broad range for Bank Nifty, 43,600 to 44,100. One can play that range on Bank Nifty. And as far as individual stock ideas are concerned, the first stock pick is going to be Mahindra CIE Automotive. We can see it's formed a very classical wedge pattern, gave an upside breakout out of that after some time. There is a short-term 10 days moving average crossover about 20. It found support. The volumes are good. So it looks like the pattern target, which is around 323, should be achieved. So one can create long positions in Mahindra CIE with a target of 323. Stop loss can be maintained at 291. And the next stock on the buy side is going to be RCF, Rashtriya Chemical Fertilizer. We can see a very strong move happening in that stock for quite some time. In 2 weeks of time, the stock has moved nearly from 100 levels to 140. That's a huge rise of 40%. And still there is no divergence on the upside. So I think more steam is left here on RCF. Long positions can be created. One can maintain a stop loss on RCF at 135 for the target of 150 levels.
All right, so these are two picks that Ashish has for our viewers. Let's focus on the big deal as well. It's not a big money-wise deal, but JB Chemical has acquired Razel portfolio from Glenmark. This is an acquisition worth about 320-odd crores, and this gives them the right to sell the particular therapy that we told you in India and Nepal. It will be funded by a mix of internal debt and accrual, and the sales of this drug was around 29 crores in H1 FY23. Company has branded volumes, and they are taking it only as a brand and not with the sales force. This is one of the top drugs among the top 10 brands of the company that they've acquired for, and this is used to treat abnormal lipid levels in the body.
Okay, so that's about the deal which is brewing as far as the Lal Street is concerned. Before we move forward, let's mark some of the key buzzes as well. GIC has been trending higher after that entire report of probably a merger with LIC is concerned. So that stock is up around 9%. You also have FACT, which is up around 9%. Let's pull up the intraday chart of these counters. PNC Infratech has also been trending higher with a gain of around 8%. A massive surge when it comes to PNB Housing. Another 7% uptick today. And Sapphire Foods, which saw a large deal, has managed to find enough buyers, it seems, because the stock is holding up with a gain of around 6%. And interestingly, today Piramal Enterprises is also bouncing back significantly, a gain of around 5%. Now, while Sapphire Foods has found its buyers, IRCTC OFS is something which is pressurizing the stock, so it's down about 6%. JNK Bank 2 is sitting with a cut of around 4%, and Blue Star and Campus Activewear are some of the other movers that I want to highlight as well, because they are the ones which are on the downtrend as we speak. But moving on, and let's talk about some of the overseas stock as well. Rajiv Thakkar, CIO at PPFAS Mutual Fund, believes that US tech companies' underlying growth is still intact. Listen in to his take coming in.
We have a mix of India plus overseas. Any one segment doing too well or too badly does not overall affect the portfolio much. So we would be ballpark, I would think, down about 2% odd in terms of the 1 year returns kind of thing. So it's not as bad as it sounds. And we have been saying this from day one. So we launched 9.5 years back. We have been saying this from day one, saying that when India does much better than overseas stocks, the scheme will tend to underperform. And when there are India-specific events like border tension with China or demonetization or GST introduction or something like that, the scheme will do better. But we urge investors to look at it across the cycle. These stocks were not overvalued even at the highs that we saw last year. So if we look at companies like Microsoft that you mentioned or Alphabet, these were around 30 times earnings more or less before the fall. After the fall, these are around 20 times earnings, and these are exceptional companies in terms of the monopoly or the oligopoly kind of businesses that they are in. Despite the overall slowdown in the GDP growth rate, which is expected in the coming days, their underlying business is showing some growth. Sure, in the heady days of 2020 and 21, these companies were a bit lax on their cost control and hiring. They were budgeting for a much higher growth rate. So they are paring down their costs in terms of their P&L.
After a really long time, we got a chance to speak to Rajiv Thakkar about US stocks, what he makes of that. But on that note, taking a break, Nifty down 115 points, 18,544, in and around the day's lowest point. But of course, down about only marginally about 0.6%.
Presented by Axis Mutual Fund. Co-powered by Century Ply. Aag se bachaye. In association with BSE, experience the new.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Landmark Cars Limited, a leading premium automotive retail business in India with dealerships for Mercedes-Benz, Honda, Jeep, Volkswagen and Renault, and a commercial vehicle dealership for Ashok Leyland, launches an initial public offering of equity shares of face value of ₹5 each in a price band of ₹481 to ₹506 per equity share. Bid offer opens on Tuesday, December 13th, 2022 and closes on Thursday, December 15th, 2022. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP available on the websites of SEBI, the book running lead managers and the stock exchanges.
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.